So Joe, welcome to FrightFest. You're here with the world premiere of Outpost, your very first directorial feature debut. How are you feeling?
Pretty nervous, but excited. I've loved horror for a long time, well before comedy. When I was 13, I was reading Fangoria and collecting Stephen King books and watching all the movies on cable. And so it's an absolute thrill to be here, and especially in front of this crowd. Yeah.
I think that is the thing. A lot of people know you from your comedy work, but horror is something that you have long been a champion of. I mean, you've recently been in the Shudder series, the 101 scariest moments. I mean, that must have been a dream for as a horror fan to get called up for that.
Oh, I could go on about horror movies forever. So when I was asked, I was thrilled to be part of the show. I mean, I'm mixed in among legends there with Joe Dante and Mick Garris and many others that I'm forgetting. So I was humbled to be included in that group, and thrilled because I hadn't seen all of those horror movies, and I've seen quite a lot. So I hope to be a part of the Shudder family for a while.
I guess the obvious question would be, where did this idea come from? Because I know that this was it feels, when you watch it, it feels very much like, oh yes, this was a pandemic film, but you actually had this idea before the pandemic even began.
Yes, this was back in the spring of 2018. The movie itself, I wanted, the horror movies that I loved as a kid revolved around descents into madness, because it was an independent movie. I knew it was going to be a small cast. I wanted to work with Beth Dover, my wife, and I also wanted production value. So as kind of unromantic and unexciting as the origin of the story was, it really came down to where can we shoot this that would look amazing. It's going to be about isolation, and let's kind of work from there. Yeah.
And it also deals with topics to do with trauma. Kate is a survivor of domestic abuse. What do you think it is about horror that opens up the door to explore these very real issues?
I think one of the best things about horror is it can be used as a metaphor and analogy for many different things. And for me, it was important to kind of follow a person through pain. I know nothing as a 50-year-old white cis male about domestic abuse or anything like that, but I do know a little bit about not being able to ask for help. And I think our main character is broken, and it's hard for her to ask for help, and it leads to trouble, and that is a real issue.
And as I watched it, I was noticing that there are a few nods to some other horror films. Did you have some fun thinking, oh, maybe I might just stick Kate behind a log truck here? And
yes, I mean there was a lot of influence. The Shining, obviously one of them, but also Repulsion was a big model for this movie. The Amityville Horror, the fire tower, and kind of thinking about how to, present this structure as a character, an intimidating force in the movie. There were quite a number of things. Philip Kaufman's Invasion of the Body Snatchers. I love I love that paranoia in that movie, and we try to give a nod to it in this one as well.
And are you hoping that this will be the springboard for future films in the horror world?
I hope so. I love this world. I feel very comfortable in it. I love being scared. I love watching other movies that scare me. So I got a couple ideas, and I hope people will have you back after they see this one.
And on the acting front, have you got anything that you can talk about?
Nothing I can actually talk about, but a couple of things in the work. I know that's such a sad answer, but you'll see me soon.
And I guess finally, what do you hope that the FrightFest audience take from your film?
Oh, just love horror movies, and I love horror movies as much as they do. Have fun, enjoy the ride. Let's see you come back next year. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to let you enjoy the premiere and go and be with your people.
Thank you. Thanks so much. Thanks for having me.